Howdy, y'all. This is Proverbs 21 in the NMV for September 21, 2023. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Jehovah. As the rivers of water, he turns it to wherever he will. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord Jehovah ponders the hearts. To do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord Jehovah than sacrifice. A high look, a proud heart, and the plowing of the wicked is sin. The thoughts of the diligent tend only to plenteousness, but of every one that is hasty only to lack. The getting of treasures by a lying tongue is a vanity, tossed to and fro of them that seek death. The robbery of the wicked shall destroy them, because they refuse to do judgment. The way of a man, perverse and strange, but the pure, his work is right. It is better to dwell in a corner of a housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. The soul of the wicked desires evil. His neighbor finds no favor in his eyes. When the scorner is punished, the simple is made wise. When the wise is instructed, he receives knowledge. The righteous man wisely considers the house of the wicked, but God, Elohim, overthrows the wicked for their wickedness. Whoso stops his ears at the cry of the poor, he also shall cry himself, but shall not be heard. A gift in secret pacifies anger, and a reward in the bosom strong wrath. It is joy to the just to do judgment, but destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity. The man that wanders out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. He that loves pleasure shall be a poor man. He that loves wine and oil shall not be rich. The wicked shall be a ransom for the righteous, and the transgressor for the upright. It's better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and an angry woman. Treasure to be desired, and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man spends it all up. He that follows after righteousness and mercy finds life, righteousness, and honor. A wise man scales the city of the mighty and casts down the strength of their confidence thereof. Whoso keeps his mouth and his tongue keeps his soul from troubles. Proud, arrogant, scorner is his name, who deals in proud wrath. The desire of the slothful kills him, for his hands refuse to do labor. He covets greedily all the day long, but the righteous gives not and spares not. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination. How much more when he brings it with a wicked mind? A false witness shall perish, but the man that hears speaks constantly. A wicked man hardens his face, but as for the upright, he directs his way. No wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against the Lord Jehovah. The horse prepared for the day of battle, but safety is of the Lord. The horse prepared against the day of battle, but safety is of the Lord Jehovah. Sorry. I'm really struggling to get through this one tonight. It's been a long, tiring day, and I probably look how I feel. I don't even know. We're on double-digit number of attempts because I'm stumbling over my words, especially some of this translation, being so tired. We do what we need to do, right? Do what you got to do. The Lord can direct people's hearts. So whether it's you, somebody in power over you, the leaders of our country, whoever, the Lord can affect their hearts. He can steer them any way that he likes them to. And we, of course, think that everything we do is right. We've got the right revelation. But the Lord's the one who ultimately can hold judgment on that. The Lord hates proud people. So a high look, a proud heart, and even the plowing of the wicked is sin. So even the work that they're doing the Lord is, sorry, somebody pulled up and was checking me out. The Lord despises that. And later it says that he despises the sacrifice of the wicked, and how much more when they do it with a wicked heart. So people who think like they're going to bargain with God, or I'm going to get God to owe me, or doing things because I don't know how to put it, because kind of like magic, right? If I do this, then that will happen. This is offensive to the Lord, because you're not doing it with the right motive or the right perspective. You're either doing it with a lack of understanding, or worse, like I said, you think you're pulling a fast one, or that you can deal, like the wizard that went to Peter, I believe it was, and asked that they give them the power that they had, that they were healing people in Jesus' name. He wanted to like bargain for it. And the thoughts of the diligent. So it talks about the diligent and basically filling their house with treasures and having things, whereas the people that are hasty or not wise, they use everything up. So even when they have nice things and treasures and oil and wine in their house, there's no restraint. They use them up. The way of man is perverse and strange, but as for the pure, his work is right. Because when we're on the path of righteousness, we're purifying ourselves, or the Lord is purifying us and sanctifying us. So our ways aren't perfect, but they certainly aren't twisted and strange anymore. That is to say, perverse. Twice in here. It's better to live in the court of a housetop, or to live in the wilderness, than to deal with a contentious or brawling woman. Ain't nobody got time for that, man. It'll take your very life force out of you to be spending time arguing like that all the time, or being henpecked, or being nagged, or however this might present itself. When the scorner's punished, the simple's made wise. When the wise is instructed, he receives knowledge. Right? A model of how it should go, instead of when you rebuke a mocker, they hate you, right? The correct response is, oh, you're right, I hadn't thought of it that way before. And it doesn't say we're instructing the scorner, it says that we're punishing them. And not do unto others, but if you stop your ears at the cry of the poor, when you cry, you'll not be heard. So it is do unto others, but it's in like a big sense, abstract, right? Not each person, but did you take care of the poor? As concept, did you do what you could, when you were asked to do it? This is the one I was talking about. He that loves pleasure shall be a poor man. He that loves wine and oil shall not be rich. It's okay to like that stuff. It's okay to appreciate it. But if that's what you're after, if that's your end goal, if that's what you're chasing, then it's never going to be enough. You're never going to have enough. Better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and angry woman. It says loving to quarrel and angrily debate. I feel like we know that type, even if we know it from, social media and reels and clips. There's some crazy ladies out there. They're crazy guys too, but sure enough, there are some really, really unreasonable ladies out there. And I know social media allows us to see kind of the worst rapid fire, but like, oh man, oh man, not just ladies. There's some people that have some real thought deficiencies. Let's leave it that way. And again, there's treasure and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man spends it up. Planning, right? Restraint. There's something to be said about gathering your resources and not using them all up, because then not only can you take care of yourself and your household, you have something to share with other people. Again, this is a good one. 21:21. He that follows after righteousness and mercy finds life, righteousness, and honor. So we're following righteousness and we get righteousness. But if we show mercy, we also find life and honor. That speaks directly to like being the angry guy, right? And being rash and carrying out your own revenge, because those are the ways in which we get in a more serious conflict and can wind up dead, right? Don't let your mouth write checks that your butt can't cash. So show mercy, overlook offenses, play it cool, cowboy. Case in point, whoso keeps his mouth and his tongue keeps his soul from troubles. Literally, don't let your mouth and your tongue write checks that your soul can't cash, because you'll have trouble. The desire of the slothful kills him, for his hands refuse to labor. I know a few people like this. I know I tend to analysis of paralysis myself, or paralysis of analysis. And kind of thinking, how to do stuff or the next move or the next priority or something. We get trapped in that instead of just execute, just do, right? So have desires, have dreams, work towards them like it's going out of style. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination. And I mean, a sacrifice, do we mean here like blood sacrifice, or sacrifice in the sense that we talk about it in that we're foregoing something in order to present it? And with a wicked mind. So again, I don't even think this is like foregoing something. This is bringing like a blood sacrifice and thinking it's almost like the Joel Osteen thing, right? And like physics of heaven, I'm going to tithe because then God owes me. He needs to give me some money because, hey, I did what I was supposed to do, so now you got to do what you're supposed to do. And that's not how this works. But there's certainly people and ministries like Joel Osteen and Kenneth Copeland and Joyce Meyer that will happily preach that message. Lord be with them when they face him. A wicked man hardens his face, but as for the upright, he directs his way. I just keep coming back to 21:30, right? No wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against the Lord Jehovah. There's nothing that will stand. There's scoffing, there's mocking. The posture of many educated people now is to look down on people with faith. But when you examine their beliefs, there's no counsel, wisdom, or understanding that stands against him, the Lord, that is. Who said it? I heard a great... who was it now? I was listening to a great talk. I don't think it was Patrick Bet-David interviewing Graham Stefan. And before he gave him a chance to really say that he was an atheist or anything, he asked him what God he worshipped. And it was like, I don't worship it. And it's like, oh no, everyone worships a God. Everybody worships something. Themselves, money, whatever. But there's no such thing as a true atheist, because we're all serving money, fame, whatever. We're all serving something, and whatever we're serving, that's our idol, that's our God. So the more that you can break down people's thoughts into their core beliefs, we can elucidate, like, no, you actually do believe stuff. We just believe differently. There's not a lack of belief. It's you don't believe that what you serve is a God in your own life. Running out of time, as usual. Thanks to all the shenanigans trying to get this episode in the bag. Thanks for sitting with me, and thanks for listening. Just remember, the horse is prepared against the day of battle, but safety is of the Lord Jehovah. Go with God. Be blessed.